Mic is muted. Never mind. Ha, now you can probably hear me. Alright, I need to turn myself down a little bit. Alright. So hope everybody can hear me fine. So I didn't realize my mic wasn't on. Pro streamer, right? Let's go. But yeah. No. So last time, as if you were watching, we had some technical issues with Digimon World 3. Crashed. So the plan this week is I'm going to save more often. Goal number 1. I'm going to start to try to save more often. We're going to try to get back to where we were. I mean, it's actually kind of better this way because we got our butts kicked by Tyrannomon. So we're going to try to save every probably 20 to 30 minutes at least. Because we're, yet again, going to only go an hour and a half. After this stream, I'm going to be doing some stuff with Phasmophobia, with my wife and some friends. So, yeah, but we're going to play more Digimon World 3 and try to get caught up. 1 sec, though. I got to make sure I have everything else I need open. Cool. Alright, so 1 second, because I did have a thing that I forgot to pull up last time. So I have been looking at a guide for Digimon World 3. I need to pull it up again. I know, pro streamer moments, right? Okay. You're lucky I realized who this is. It'd be an auto ban. But you're lucky you're so wonderful that I can't ban you. Are you guys streaming tonight, by the way? Heyo. How you doing? Don't you insult my Digimon whiz. I will literally fight you. I love Digimon. I know it's just a Pokemon clone, but it's not. It's so much. It's so different. This is very... Because I think me and Cam were actually having this discussion. Or no, I think it might have been me and Gustavo. About what really the difference is between Pokemon and Digimon. And for me, it comes down to the games have actually evolved. Unlike Pokemon games, is they've done a multitude of different game styles and stuff. They've done... Leave my graphics alone, okay? This is PS1 era. Pokemon was still at 2D at this point. Alright? They were still at 2D. We got console releases for home console releases for Digimon. If you compare this to like Pokemon Stadium at the time, this is actually not horrible. Ayo, thanks for the follow. Appreciated. But no, so for me, it comes down to a lot of the Digimon games have actually evolved over time, especially like compared to Pokemon. Cause like they've done JRPGs, they've done dungeon crawls, they've done a pet simulator game that was actually the first Digimon World game, which was really, really bad if I'm being 100% honest. I hate that game so much. But no, for me, it comes down to evolution, and not just Digivolution, evolution in Pokemon. Ha ha ha, jokes. I can make puns. Oh shit. Down goes Munmon. That's problematic. But also, oh, why did I send in Agumon? No! Oh, we're in a pickle. But yeah, the games have always been changing, which I think is really important for something like Digimon and Pokemon, where their audiences are changing. So, for me, it comes down to, like, everyone will always compare the two, and that's fine. It's part of being kind of similar. But, like, the games have actually evolved and tried to be more than what Pokemon was, to prove that they're not just that. So for me, that's where I look at Digimon, and, like, I've always loved the games. But yeah, no. So that's my thoughts on Pokemon versus Digimon. I will admit I'm 100% a fanboy of both. 100% love both the games. I'm excited for Digimon's next game, actually, that we know is coming out, which is Digimon Survive. Thank you. Yes, Digimon is a great game series. I love it so much. I think it will always get undervalued because of Pokemon's relevance, which sucks, because I think Digimon genuinely has a lot to offer, because they haven't shied away from darker tones. Like, this game is a big advocate for that. I know Digimon Survive, which is the next game coming out, as I was just saying, is going to have very dark tones. It's going to be very similar to something like Fire Emblem, both playstyle, plus it's going to have a darker story where maybe not everyone makes it out of the games, which actually has me really excited for that mechanic. It's actually part of the reason I want to, because my wife is in the other room, so she's getting spoilers for this, even though I've already kind of told her I'm getting her it. I'm getting her Digimon Survive, because I know how much she loved Fire Emblem Three Houses. She beat every single story arc, and she likes the look of a lot of Digimon, and she's always looking for new story games to get into, because that's one of her biggest things with games, is she likes story to them. So when it comes to stuff like Digimon, like, it's like Cyber Sleuth is really good. I love Cyber Sleuth. I've beaten it. I have thought about revisiting it for the stream. I have one episode up. I might do another down the line. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, no, this is my favorite Digimon game, actually. It's one, as a kid, I can always remember going back to. Because actually, the reason I started playing it on the channel is because me and my friend Gustavo, which technically we're supposed to have an episode of Gaming with a Point, which is our weekly podcast tonight. But because of him not feeling great, we decided to postpone a week, because this week feels really important. So we decided to wait and go from there. But yeah, no, overall, but last week we were doing it on nostalgia and what got us into gaming. And this is probably the game I can remember getting super into. Like, Pokemon was 100% probably one of the first games that I obsessed with, because I was obviously grew up during Pokemania. So I grew up surrounded by Pokemon. It was everywhere. So kind of, and Digimon was a big part of that too, obviously. I remember some of the other Pokemon clones fighting Foodons. I know that probably dates me a little bit. Saying fighting Foodons, the original Beyblade. I actually had a conversation with somebody who, I think it was Gustavo actually, did not realize Beyblade came out in the 90s. Or no, not 90s. The early 2000s as a kind of Pokemon clone. I think we had that conversation with Bakugan as well, where it was essentially made to be a mix of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and other toys to life kind of things, because like that was big at the time. Because not long after that came out Skylanders. I don't know if anybody remembers that travesty. I spent way too much on Skylanders and Disney Infinity than I would like to admit. I thank God did not get into Lego Dimensions, even though that I probably could have easily. But yeah, no, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. But I hope everyone is having a great day today. Yeah, right now we're just kind of grinding, getting ready for some stuff. I'm going to go up here and save here in a second, actually, just to be safe. Well, hello there, Ember. Yes. Have you come to destroy the stream again? Give me 10 seconds and you can. Didn't you have so much fun, Wiz? Hey, Wiz, just think. At least, you know, Karina and I do stupid damage. Because, you know, she picked Assassin. So she gets lots of damage on sneak attack. And then I have Smite. But just think, at least I won't become completely broken. I did a Paladin Bard, so it's not like I have stupid levels of spells yet. I don't even have second level spells. So I don't actually have second level spells at this point. All my spells are first level, but I have second level spell slots. So I get to use those for Smite right now until I get higher level spells. But that makes it more fun for me, because that means I can level 2 Smite. Because catch this Paladin, Smite! But yeah, for those of you that don't know in chat, Wiz and I do a D&D session every Friday at 5 called Stardust. I play a character named Rakan, who's an ASMR Paladin Bard. Yes, he is based on the League of Legends character. I am having way too much fun with this. But yeah, no, I have done nothing but cause chaos. It's all been good though. It's all good. It's not like I'm doing evil things. I'm doing relatively good things. I thought he was a thief. It's not my fault. He's withholding secrets. I don't like that. Rakan is a very upfront, will tell you to your face everything. That's why I like playing this character, is he's very blunt. He will tell you to your face, hey, don't be a frickin' a-hole. It's not my fault. Maybe if he wouldn't be so cryptid, Wiz, I wouldn't literally go whoop his tail. Oh. He was being cryptic. That is not my fault, Wiz, and you know it. You decided to make him cryptic. I'm going to poke the bear until I can get my answers. Rakan does not care about, oh, I have little emotional barriers. Nah, I'm an open book, bitch. I expect you to be too. Probably why Zaya only tolerates him at this point and tries to get him to shut up. But she's at least up front with him, so he doesn't have to poke her too hard. Mostly because she would stab him. He gave 0 info, Wiz. Babe, how much info did Atlas give us?
Very little.
Okay, she's being a little more generous. She said he gave very little. I say 0. You gave us 0, Wiz.
Depends on
0.
how you interpret the information.
See, in Rakan's mind, he got 0.
That's Rakan's mind.
Yeah, because Rakan's not very bright. Yeah, but he didn't answer any questions was the big issue. He gave more questions, but he did not give answers. Ooh, Herald of Darkness. I'm assuming... Yeah, that's not my fault. Because I need to know why I should trust you. Rakan does not trust easily. Especially not humans. He does not like humans. Because anyone who's anti-magic, he finds as, how do I put this? Kind of simple. And especially those that are anti-magic, he finds those people are against nature. So... for context for you, Liz. Because, yes, he is a paladin. He does not follow a deity. He follows magic and nature. He's kind of like a druid, but cooler. I have one person of interest. Oh, wait. You mean, like, people that we're interrogating. I thought you meant people we actually cared about. Ah, ha, ha. See, I can make jokes. So we're going to put Agumon to the front. See, aren't you just glad that God, I can't think of his name. Lizard Boy wasn't there last session? Because do you know how that would have ended? It would have ended with me and him running out to the wildland. Yeah. I can't say that. But thank you. Read that chat, please. If you want context to who I'm talking about. If Lizard Boy was there, me and him would have just run out there and destroyed a bunch of shadow people. And I probably could have done it, is the horrible thing. Because I'm pure light and so much radiant damage. See, the best part is... not saying Rakan would help him with that, but I'm also not saying he wouldn't after he doesn't answer questions. Because Rakan would probably definitely throw him down the well. Because, like, Rakan wouldn't if he gave us answers. But the fact that he's not giving us answers, Rakan would be like, okay, well, you're literally useless. Because that's just how Rakan sees it. Is you're being secretive, you're being, how I view, two-faced. I can't trust you. Don't expect me to help you. Oh, speaking of Wiz, I got you as a Funko Pop. Hey babe, can I have Wiz as a Funko Pop, please, or Lucian? Oh, never mind. Ember's cuddling. You have to wait. You have to wait to see Lucian. But I got Lucian as a Funko Pop quiz. I'm sure you probably already know exactly what I'm talking about, but okay. Yeah, no, Ember is actually cuddling Karina, so she's not getting up to get it, and I'm not getting up to get it either. So. Are you talking about the one for the other campaign? Yes. I appreciate you. I'm glad I can still joke about that with you and Alba at least. Because I don't speak to anybody else really from it. Like James checks in on me every now and then, which I genuinely appreciate. But otherwise, I don't speak to nobody. Honestly, at this point, it's not just our fault. It's kind of theirs too. No one's talking anymore. So I'm assuming either they've joined another Discord to do James's campaign, which is most likely true, which is fine. Or they're just not talking at all. Yeah, I have no idea either. I'm just not involved really. I don't have time for it. I enjoy this. I enjoy playing with D&D with you guys. I enjoy playing D&D with Gustavo and everyone on Sundays. And I work. I don't have time for all that right now. I'd love to. I would love to finish that campaign. I'd love to finish either of the campaigns I was DMing. Yeah, I talk to Alba constantly. Other than you, she's probably the person I talk to and Gustavo. And then obviously Karina, we don't count Karina. I'm married and live with her. Kind of have to talk to her. But yeah, probably other than Gustavo. Probably goes Gustavo, you, Alba on who I talk to most. If I would like to maintain the relationship I have, I should probably talk to her. Because, you know, relationships are about communication. Which, segue. So, as I said earlier, we're going to postpone this week's episode of Gaming with a Point. Because Gustavo's not feeling great. So, next week we're going to be talking about Black Lives Matter. We're going to have a special guest on that episode. And then the week after, we're pushing what was going to be essentially the Valentine's Day episode to that, where we're going to actually have my wife on, and we're going to talk about relationships, especially involving gaming in your relationships, and just being in a relationship as an adult and dealing with that. Yeah, we're not... Karina and I don't do Valentine's Day, but we're like topical for the podcast because, you know, you gotta be topical for that kind of thing because, you know, gotta be pro. But yeah, no. I'm of course, by that standard was I'm not a big fan of most holidays, if I'm being completely honest. I don't do Christmas and stuff. I've never been a big fan of it. It goes back to just my childhood and stuff. But like about the only holiday I really like is not Thanksgiving. I hate Thanksgiving. Is because I don't eat turkey. Is Halloween. I love Halloween. I always have, always probably will. So yeah. I love Halloween. I'm not a fan of Christmas. I don't do Thanksgiving. Valentine's Day is gross. New Year's is so close to my birthday, I don't care. Then I'm not a big drinker anymore, so like what do I miss out on? I'm very surprised you don't partake in Halloween. That seems right up your alley, Wiz. I'm very surprised. I don't do 4th of July. I think I'm a bad patriot. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I'm not a fan of 4th of July. It's just a lot of the holidays are based around drinking, and since I kind of limit how much I drink nowadays, I try not to. It feels pointless to celebrate them, in my opinion. So, for me, it kind of. I guess that's where I stand on a lot of holidays, especially 4th of July and stuff. Which, yeah. About the only other holidays I kind of actually care about are Memorial Day. For obvious reasons. I've lost friends who I served with. And to a point, Veterans Day, but that's more so just to reflect on the individuals I've served with. Not so much for me, even. I'm not a fan. Like, even though it used to be, because for those of you that don't know, is my best friend and I both served in the military. He was in the reserves. I was active duty. Every Veterans Day, we'd go out to Friendly's, get our free meal and stuff, and then go to the movies, which was a reduced ticket price and everything. We did that more so not just because we're veterans. We did it as a bonding thing between him and I. Is always what that was for us. So that's why I like Veterans Day. Is it kind of just became best friends day for me, which I appreciate because I don't get that as often. I don't get days of just me and Rob hanging out anymore. Like, I see him all the time because he's part of the campaign with Gustavo and everyone on Sundays, but like, we don't go and hang out and do stuff all the time because he lives way out in Phoenix. Technically Pennaville, but yeah, birthdays, Karina and I don't really do birthdays that often. Like, she fights me when I get her anything, much less a birthday present. So usually, like, for her birthday, there's a Marvel movie out like right around her birthday. So that's what we go do for her birthday, is we go out to the movies. The last birthday of mine, I think we kind of celebrated. We went to go see The Greatest Showman. I think that was the last time we did it. I think before that, the last time we really celebrated my birthday was with my mother and stuff. So otherwise, we don't really celebrate much. I don't even think we really celebrate our anniversary half the time. I know this year we didn't, because we both worked. This year for my birthday, I worked. Like, I had so many people like, "Oh, are you doing anything fun for your birthday?" I'm like, "Nah, I work. I'm essential." I'm essential. I work for my birthday. But it's like, it's one of those funny things is, I think some people, because like, I've had this argument with a lot of my family that they still think of me kind of as a child, so they don't realize that, hey, I don't just get to have fun on my birthday and stuff. Like, I work usually still for it, so it's one of those things. Because, like, actually for my birthday, I had the original plan, because obviously it's now over a month past. The original plan was I was going to do a birthday stream where I was actually going to have donations set up, and it would go to helping wounded veterans. That was my plan. It was not going to be Wounded Warrior Project. That is a very, very bad thing. Oh, it was for the USO, which actually helps active duty veterans and stuff. It helps them like get care packages, especially when they're overseas and stuff. So it's one of those things that I'm very passionate about. When I was in Afghanistan, I was very involved with the USO. I spent a lot of time over there and stuff. It was great. which actually is something sooner or later, because Gustavo and I have talked about wanting to talk about stuff I did in the military at some point. But spoiler alert for that episode whenever it happens. I'm actually a former champion over in Afghanistan when it comes to the USO. So with the base I was on, they actually had a WWE, I think it was 2K15 championship go on, where we had a short tournament and I actually ended up winning it. I actually got to take home like one of the stupid toy foam belts, because I'd spent the whole week talking shit to both my sergeant and the sergeant of another platoon. And the other platoon was like, yeah, you're not going to win this. There's no way in hell. If you win this, I'll give you $50. And my sergeant was like, you're winning this because I want bragging rights. Tournament ended up finishing at like 11 o'clock at night. I'm walking back with the belt over my shoulder with a couple of my friends, and the sergeant for the other platoon actually was walking out to go take a shower at that point. Looks at me, sees the belt, and is like, this motherfucker actually did it. Holy shit. Calls out my sergeant. My sergeant's like, hell yeah, let's go. And for a while, it was actually, well, they were still in Afghanistan, because I had to leave Afghanistan early. For those of you that don't know, I was injured and had to go back for surgery. It sat above my sergeant's desk for about a month and a half before it got stolen. But he was beyond proud of the fact that I had done that, and he could showcase that. So it's one of the probably coolest stories I have from the military that I'll probably tell again when it comes to that podcast. But yeah, that's why, like, even though I hate the WWE games right now, 100% state that I hate them. They will always have a special place in my heart for that reason, amongst many others. But yeah, so I am a former champion when it comes to gaming tournaments in Afghanistan. So pro gamer. But if anyone else is in chat, I hope everybody's having a great day today. We're just kind of grinding right now. This game is very grindy. I want to warn everyone. So hey, what's up, comments? Thanks for the lurk, man. I genuinely appreciate it. You just missed story time. It was fun. Which, if you're enjoying the music, you can thank Gustavo. He got me onto this playlist. It's actually really good. I like it. It's pretty chill. Because for those of you that have been kind of watching stream for a while, I used to play copyrighted music for a long time just because I always kind of liked jamming out and enjoying my music and enjoying my time. So it's one of those things that, like, I needed to, as I was getting closer to doing more stuff, I needed to kind of reconsider what I was playing. So Gustavo got me onto this playlist and stuff, and I really like it. It's got a lot of interesting stuff. But yeah. So you can thank Gustavo for the beats. It's actually kind of what I've been actually listening to as I'm going to bed at night. Because usually what Karina and I do is we'll listen to comedy at night. Just because, like, we enjoy getting the laughs at the end of the night and just gives us a good opportunity to relax and stuff. But lately I've been, because my issue, the reason I don't listen to like regular music or what, because I can't watch TV to go to bed usually. Because if the lights are on, I will always be trying to watch it. Because usually if I'm sleeping, I need almost complete darkness. Even though the funny thing is, I'll pass out on a dime anytime. Which was, I didn't want to say this, I did pass out last night, so I actually had no idea what you needed me to roll for initiative, because I actually did have a plus for initiative. I was out before that. Then why didn't you yell at me? But yeah, it's part of the reason I really need to get tested for narcolepsy, because I very much will not even realize I'm falling asleep and just suddenly be passed out, being either waking up by myself or like Karina will come in and yell at me, "Hey, wake up." But I am notorious, and it's not been a recent thing. It is a constant thing. It got really bad in the military where I'd be sitting there working on stuff and I'd just pass out. But they all just assumed I didn't have self-control, but it wasn't that. It was just I literally could not stay awake. It's one of those weird things. That's part of the reason I really need to go get tested, but as I've complained a million times before, the VA is the worst thing ever invented. Because the system's trash. I know. I'm getting yelled at if you cannot tell. Alright. So I think the game plan here. Yeah, so actually, I figured out why Karina could hear herself last night. Well, you could hear Karina being picked up on my mic. I goofed and my mic had its back to me actually. So it was actually trying to pick up that way and not towards me. So it was kind of funny. Yeah, I didn't even realize it until I was messing with my mic this morning. Or earlier. So yeah. Kinda hilarious, kinda not, if I'm being completely honest. This is the one thing I'm gonna have to get used to with this new mic that Gustavo gave me, is there's a front and a back to it, so it naturally picks up one way. So, like, me having it backwards, like, you can still hear me because I'm loud as hell, as I'm sure all of you can tell right now. I'm an extremely loud individual, but having it away from me, it was trying to pick up Karina's voice too. I have a very small desk. I'm going to be sooner or later upgrading it. That's something Karina and I were recently talking about maybe doing with our taxes. Is I really wanted to upgrade my desk because it annoys me. But yeah, no, I have my old snowball still. One of my buddies was asking if I wasn't gonna use it, if I minded if he had it. So I'm thinking about that because it comes down to whether or not, because there's a couple factors on whether or not I do that, and the biggest one being whether or not I'm going to use it for God, why can't I think of it? Like streaming in person. It's one of those things like I could not even prepare you for that kind of thing because I've never streamed online, so I couldn't prepare you for that in any way, shape, or form because I don't stream online, and as you know, I don't like even doing whatchamacallit. You don't? I thought you did. Alright, so the new goal. Do you just mean because of like school and stuff, or because you move around a lot? Because trust me, we don't have a permanent place of residence either. Trust me. We've moved, 4 times in the past 4 years? About? Babe? Yeah. Yeah, so trust me, we've had no form of stability, which really has been a downer on us. It's probably one of the hardest things for both of us is that lack of stability. But there's only so much you can do with it. It's not like I can be like, oh, I need stability and figure out buying a house, even though if the realty market would crash, I would very much appreciate getting a house for $20. Which is valid. I can't say I blame you, Wiz. You have asthma and shit. I can't say I blame you. Trust me, that's something I've contemplated, because actually, funny thing is, I was talking to the coach over at Walmart, my coach, the person that's above me, and because he was talking to me and stuff, and I was talking about my degree in business, which he did not know I had, and he was like, oh, what are you planning to do with that degree? And I'm like, well, my plan is to work management within esports. And he's like, oh, like, but like if I have to like fall back and like move up here, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that being my plan B if I had to, but obviously my end goal is still management and esports. But like if I have to fall back and move up through management in Walmart, like, is that such a bad thing? Like, yeah, I would not want to be at like, if I was stuck at the lowest level of Walmart forever, whole nother animal. But I have degrees in business management specifically, in leadership and team building. So, like, why would I want to be at a low level position? The only reason I am is because where I am now is because it's not permanent. I have no intention to, as of right now, to stay at Walmart. I want to go back to school. And since I'm in graduate school, I have enough trouble as it is, even maintaining my 3 courses and anything else I try to do. that, like, for me, I'd have to reconsider, like, the club and stuff like that if I were to try to go to school and work full time. Is I would have to I wouldn't work full time anyways because I don't even get 40 hours now. Most weeks I'm down to 26 right now, which my boss is not at all happy about. She's getting ready very much to fight people, my team lead, because she's complained multiple times saying, I need him here much more often because of me. That they want her to step away from a lot of the tasks she wants other people to do. But they also don't want to give her enough hours and have people at the times they need them there to do those tasks. See, I cannot say the same is because for a while when I was working at Burn, I was getting almost 40 hours consistently for a while. Just because I was the one reliable person she kind of had, other than Karina, once she started working over there. So they gave us so many hours that it really ended up very much killing us and ended up affecting a lot of things. But yeah, so it's part of the reason, like, I was not going to go back. To Burn when I started working. So it's one of those things and like right now I don't have a good work-life balance even. I made my schedule way too open, and like I know they're gonna cut my hours when I change it, but at the same time, like this past week I would go from working 8:30 to 2 to the next day 1 to 10 p.m. Then the next day would be 8:30 to 2, and then 1 to 10 p.m., and then 8:30 to 2 again. And that was just, it was no form of work-life balance. I mean, for my department, I technically only have, I have 3 people, technically. One person is about completely useless, literally. So, the funny thing is, we have nicknames for a lot of the people that work there, just so, we don't get in trouble for saying names and stuff. Like, I have one individual I call Useless, as I was saying, who's the 4th member of our team. She spent 3 hours zoning a maybe 10-foot section when she was supposed to get an entire aisle done during that time. And so it took her 3 hours. What would have taken the normal person maybe an hour, if that. It took her 3 hours. So I call her Useless because anytime she's there, nothing's going to get done that needs to get done. Because she'll just sit there and milk a task for everything she can. Then there's the Hag, which is an older woman that works with us. She's just she's a mean old lady. Like, nasty. And then there's the one person that actually knows their nickname is the other member of my team, Luis. I call him Shorty. But for me, it's because of his height. For our team lead, it's because she loves him dearly. He's a great dude. I love him dearly, actually. He's really awesome. But Shorty, as in like the term of endearment. But for me, it's just because of his height, because I find it funny to pick on him for his height, because everyone else does. But I call him Shorty. Then there is the She-Dragon, which is my favorite one. That is my pride and joy nickname. It is amazing. Which is, I call her that because of her attitude. She's a scary, intimidating lady. She has to be. She's in charge of a bunch of young dudes. And for anyone who knows, she's gonna deal with a lot of misogynistic behavior from them because they're a bunch of young dudes. They're douchebags, most of them. And they don't take her serious. So I don't blame her for her attitude. I just don't like when she takes it to me, who is not one of her associates. But I call her She-Dragon also because she shares a name with a League of Legends character who can literally turn into a dragon. So it's amazing in my mind. That is funny, Wiz. I do appreciate those names. See, I don't get to know the customers well enough because I kind of work my section alone. About the only people I deal with constantly are the cat people. They are, some of the cat ladies and cat old men are mean right now. So we haven't been getting a lot of our stock for cat food. And so a lot of people are like, well, are you just not getting it? Are you not ordering it? And I'm like, it's not that. I'm making sure they know it's out. It could be a manufacturing issue, a warehouse issue. I'm like, I have no control over all that. All I can do is make sure the company knows we don't have it. But they don't like that answer. See, for me, the funnier thing with it is, though, a lot of these customers I remember seeing from Burn Dairy. And so, like, I know how scummy they already are. Because, for those of you that don't know, I live in a college town. So, a lot of the people that aren't college students are not exactly doing well off. My city has a very bad heroin issue and stuff, and other drugs and shit. And so a lot of the people are not great. So actually, because this is a funny story I told on the podcast the other day. We actually had an individual steal a vibrator. Yes, a vibrator. They were attempting to steal it so they could sell it for drug money. And so essentially yeah, Wiz, you remember this story. Oh, it was good. So essentially when they steal it, they'd take it out of the package, yeah, I wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna say do you know what with it, and walk out the store with it. And that was awkward. I was like, I don't know how to cause how do you react to that? Like, I'm not allowed to confront them, obviously. That is not my job description. But like, how do you, like, you know what that person's going to do? Like, how do you go, I can't look at you. Cause like, that's a mood. You're pretty desperate for drugs. Can we not insight check that one, Wiz? I don't want to get in their mind. I'm good. I'm good not being in their mind. Because that is some dark shit. Let's be real. So kind of my goal right now, what I'm doing in game, because I know I've been talking about a lot of stuff outside of game, is the plan is to finish leveling up my people a little bit more, but most importantly, getting them some better equipment. That's part of the reason I'm grinding so hard, is once I have everybody fully outfitted and stuff, I should at least be able to take on Pharaohmon up here. And then from there, Master Tyrannomon. I've beaten Pharaohmon before. I'm pretty sure I've beaten Tyrannomon on previous playthroughs and stuff. Yeah, people suck. So, I've actually, because it was actually hilarious. I was still working at Burn at the time, and a customer was beyond plastered drunk, like beyond plastered drunk, and she was like, "Can you get arrested for drinking and biking? Is that a thing? Can you get arrested for drinking and biking?" And we're just like, no, but if you're questioning, or I was like, I don't know, but if you're questioning that, you probably should not be biking. You should probably really consider either walking or calling someone, but it was very obvious she could not afford to call somebody to pick her up or anything. So, it's like, how do you deal with situations like that? In my mind, has always been a thing. Oh, I've been cussed out so many times at different jobs, by customers. I don't care. To me, it's like, really, you're that petty that you're just gonna go after somebody for either a minor mistake or just a slight you believe has been dealt to you. I personally don't take anything customers say to me as offensive, because I don't genuinely give a rat's ass. I'm just as everyone will probably tell you, I'm an arrogant prick who, for the most part, does not care about what other people think of me. I never have. I've always been very much like, so I won't say I don't completely care what people think of me. I don't care what people think negatively of me. If you think I'm a piece of shit, cool, good for you. I think you are too. But like, I strive to essentially I've strived myself to be a leader and a mentor to a lot of people, as I'm sure Wiz will tell you, as Gustavo will tell you. But for me, I don't hinge on the negative, because for me, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I've had individuals come in very threatening, very angrily, and like, I used to work overnights every now and then at Burn, and I hated it so much, because you're by your. Anytime I would work overnights, I was by myself. So I had to, any situations like that came up, I'd have to deal with them myself. It's one of the issues I have with jobs. Like, I'm sorry, if you're working a gas station, especially in a troubled town, you probably should not be working by yourself. Like, the chances somebody's going to try to rob you is good. We have a lot of people who are desperate for money, especially right now. I was in the middle of the pandemic. I was still working, or as the pandemic was starting and initially going on, I was still working at Burn, and there were a lot of times she had me working overnights, and I was not at all comfortable with it, because I'd have to work by myself, and it came down to Like, well, I'm working by myself. Nobody's here to help me with it. If something goes wrong, I'm supposed to call the cops, but I still have to leave the doors unlocked and stuff. So it's one of those things I didn't like working overnights by myself. It was hell, and I would never do it again. I would never go and work, especially someplace like that. Oh, that actually reminds me of another funny story that I actually haven't even gotten to tell you, babe. Somebody tried to steal $1,800 worth of clothes.
Ow.
They were just filling up their cart and were intending to run out the door.
Because that always works.
Oh, they got caught long before it because the person, one of the security individuals, realized it long before and was calling them out on it, and they ran. But yeah, $1,800 worth of clothes and other stuff they had on the cart. It was insane. Yeah, I wish I could say like it was a lot of kids' clothes and stuff, but it wasn't. Like if it was a lot of kids' clothes and stuff, and you're desperately trying to take care of your kid, I can't be as mad. But it was like a lot of men's clothes and stuff, and it was a dude, obviously. Me saying a lot of men's clothes should have made it obvious, but yeah, it was a lot of men's clothes, jackets, stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, if you're stealing all that, it's just for you, probably to sell, maybe get your drug money. Like if they were trying to steal to help clothe their kids, I'd be at least a little more understanding. I'm still not happy about it, 100% no. But if you're at least trying to take care of your kid, I can't be like, oh my god, you're the complete scum of the earth. Like, you're still scummy a little bit. You should be figuring out another way to take care of your kid. But at the same time, at least you're trying to take care of your kid and not just saying, fuck that kid. $400 worth of women's underwear? What is this, a hentai? Or just your generic ass anime? Because I'm pretty sure there's an anime where he wears they wear women's panties to get superpowers. If I'm correct. Where's Rob when I need him? I know he knows about that anime. I don't know if he's watched that anime, but I know he knows. So Wiz, you're telling me you did not attempt to buy $400 worth of women's underwear? I'm assuming they were clean underwear and like new. Because I know in Japan they have the vending machines, but... So actually, that's a funny thing. So I've mentioned my best friend Rob quite a few times on stream and stuff, and me and him have, for years since high school, have talked about going to Japan. No thanks, I'm good, Wiz. I'm 100% good. But no, so Rob and I have talked about going to Japan, and because we were watching a documentary on Japanese culture and stuff. Because, you know, high school, we were freaking so... She does not... We're not going to get into that, actually. But... So, we were watching a documentary on Japanese culture and stuff. And, they were talking about the vending machines where you can get used girls' panties and stuff. And, Rob was like, I know it's weird as hell, but I would do it just for the experience. I don't want the panties. He's like, but I kind of want to do it just for the experience of doing it once. I'm like, really, dude? He's like, yeah. One of those weird conversations me and Rob have had. I don't know if I could do it. Like, even if it's only a couple yen, I don't think I could go and do it. Like, cause, like, what are you gonna do with them? Like, that's where my issue with it is what are you gonna do with them? You gonna keep them? You gonna be a creeper? Nah. I like, if I were to even buy them as a joke, like Rob said, I'd have to throw them away immediately just for my own mental state. Be like, nope, I can't own you. Just because, like, that's some weird shit. What? That is creepy. Why would you ever get your mother underwear for her birthday? That is... Like, I probably wouldn't even get my wife underwear for her birthday, much less $400 worth. Oh, the family friend? You were getting underwear for the family friend? Was this like... Oh, okay. I was gonna say, is she like creepily interested in you? Because I'm assuming that woman is quite a bit older than you, because you're like 5. But for those of you that don't know, Wiz is not actually 5. Don't block him on Twitch. He's like 19. Don't report him to the Twitch police. We like Wiz. We keep him around. Stop it, Wiz. Just because that, like, 3-year-old that's, like, amazing at Call of Duty just got banned doesn't mean you can mess with it. That is actually insane, by the way. So I understand their thought process on why they don't want that kind of situation going around. But, like, if the parent gives consent and stuff, and I know you can do that at like 7 and the kid was like 4 or 5. But one, the kid is good as hell, actually. He's a good Call of Duty player. But yeah, no. One of those, weird situations. I just think Twitch makes a lot of bad decisions. I know I probably shouldn't say that as I'm streaming on Twitch. Twitch police gonna come knock on my door. But yeah, I think they've made some really bad decisions. Cause I think Wiz and I have talked about my issues with their recent language thing where they ban certain words but not other words. I know I've talked with my wife about it and stuff, and Gustavo. I don't agree with it because they remove certain words but not others that I think very much are more important to be removed than something like shrimp. I'm not going to say the actual one. Shrimp. And individual who has not had intercourse. There's those ones. I don't think those needed to be banned as certain other ones. But obviously I'm not Twitch. I'm not in charge. I don't know if maybe they did research on that. But considering I know individuals like Valkyrie and Lily Pichu, they've been called very nasty things in the past, especially involving like their, why can't I think of it, calling them like promiscuous and stuff, and essentially saying they're only famous because they're women and they're attractive, which I think is very wrong, because you're discrediting a lot of the things they do, which I think, like, yeah, it's not like they're like changing the world or anything, but saying it's just because they're attractive, not because like they're genuinely funny and stuff, which I think they are. I love a lot of Ray's videos with like Corpse and Saikuno and everyone. I really love those videos. But yeah, that's where I stand on that. Is I think those words should be banned as well, because I think, like, exactly. But at the same time, like, why should you judge somebody for whether or not they're promiscuous or not, whether or not they're attractive? Because, like, the same could be said of Saikuno that you say of Valkyrie, where he's just famous because he's attractive. I mean, people say that about Corpse. He's only famous because of his voice. But I disagree. I think they are genuinely intriguing and good. They're entertaining. I like them. I like watching their videos. So for me, kind of discrediting them down to, oh, it's just because of this one thing, is kind of stupid, and I hate it. Because to discredit somebody completely for things like that, exactly, you're not wrong, Wiz. And that's why I think, like, discrediting someone so deeply because of stuff like that, and especially accomplishments like thousands of viewers on Twitch. Like, obviously, I know Toast obviously came up from Hearthstone and World of Warcraft, went into TFT. His Among Us allowed him to blow up beyond belief and stuff, but like, he's genuinely entertaining. He always has been, in my opinion. I've always enjoyed Toast stuff. I watched a lot of his stuff. But actually, I love his Among Us stuff. Mostly because I love his Sherlock Holmes impression. It's really funny. Beauty, yet again, is a relative thing. I mean, that has been obviously well established at this point, because there's a Western view of beauty and stuff, which obviously has become extremely toxic towards individuals not of the Western ideal of beauty, which will probably be something we somewhat bring up when it comes to the Black Lives Matter episode next week for Gaming with a Point. So it's probably something we're going to discuss, so I don't want to get too far into it today, because I do want to keep as much topical for that as possible. That, and I'm not well researched on it. It's for most of you that don't know, I'm straight white male. Spoiler alert. How could I, right? Oh, but for me, stuff like Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ comes down to, it doesn't affect me, myself, and I, but I have a nephew who's part black. I love him dearly. I have close friends and mentors who are black. When it comes to LGBTQ, I have siblings that are. I have cousins, close friends. So a lot of those subjects, while it does not affect me directly, affects people that are very close to me. So that's why stuff like that I'm extremely passionate about, and why I've actually gotten in fights with other members of my family over stuff like that. Like, me and my grandmother currently are not really speaking right now because I called her out on some things she said about being extremely pro the former leader of this world or this country, and because she was very pro him, and I just had enough of hearing her say things about it, and so I called her out finally, and it ended up getting me very much in trouble with a lot of my other family who don't speak to me as is. And my mom's like, why'd you have to stir that up? I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and watch people be ignorant and be kind of and ignore facts for their own ideals and such, because for me it doesn't affect me directly, but it affects a lot of people I care about. So for me, the fact that so many people were, especially that are close to me, like I've called out friends I had in the military for being super ignorant about Black Lives Matter and people dying in the streets. I called them out. I'm like, how can you feel this way when a lot of the individuals you served with were black? Can you imagine them being shot in the streets? Would you not be disgusted by that? And the fact that I have to make it personal for you to understand. And a lot of them just did not care. And for me, it disgusted me. Because, like, as I said, I had friends that are black. And, like, my roommate, actually both my roommates were both black. Bell and Cleggins. Cleggins, probably one of my best friends from the military. I would do anything for that dude. Loved him dearly. I used to pick on him all the time because he was just as big a nerd as me. And we had another friend who was white, ghetto as hell, though. I will state that. Love him dearly. I know I should probably not politically correct, but dude was like, he was street. I'll give him that. Cleggins was not. And so we used to pick on him because our friend, he was so hardcore street, and we'd pick on him about it. And like, honestly, I miss a lot of my friends from the military, as I've said. That's probably the hardest part of leaving the military. Is losing out on a lot of those relationships. Like, I think I've seen one of my friends once, because he happened to be in the area, and he had brought his 2 kids with him, because he hadn't gotten to meet my wife yet. And him and his kids, I pretty much grew up with them and stuff. Love them dearly. Yeah, Wiz, 100%. The family you choose to create is very much more important. I have that in spades at this point. I have my group I call the Nerds, which most of them were part of Karina and I's wedding. I do anything for those dudes. I know they do the same because they've helped us move, 3 times now? 4? Is it all 4? Yeah, so I know those dudes would do anything for me. I have the club family I've created, like Wiz, Alba, Gustavo, everyone. And then my wife's 2 best friends, and their one of their significant others. The other one's really not involved with us. But yeah, no, for me, the family you create is, and this gets me a lot of hate from a lot of my real family, but the funny thing is, because I'm very much not a family person, never had, or at least not blood family. Like, me and my brother do not speak. That comes down to a lot of issues we have internally, like him no showing my wedding when he was supposed to be part of it. But my grandma still swears on her grave that I should have chosen him to be my best man. But he proceeds to no-show my wedding, and she still thought he should have been. I'm like, no, I would have never chosen him. He's my brother by blood, not by choice. I'm like, he's my brother, yes, 100%. I would never trust him with $5, much less anything more than that, because he'd take it and run with it. Because the kid's a liar and just not a good person. I hate to say that about my own flesh and blood, because he is my only full sibling. As I've said previously, I've got like 13 siblings now, because I have a bunch of step siblings. I have one foster sister, another foster brother on the way. So it's one of those things. I have a big family. I'm not gonna question that, Cam. But if you're about to start streaming, I'm actually about to getting close to ending this stream. At least I'm gonna take an hour break, so I'm gonna raid you. Actually, if you're about to start streaming, let me know, Cam. So, because I'm gonna take an hour break and then I'm gonna come back at 9. I'm gonna do some Phasmophobia with the wife and stuff, because we're gonna probably set her stuff up and stuff. So I'm gonna take an hour break. So if you're gonna stream, Cam, let me know, because I'm gonna come raid you. There's the warning. But yeah, we're gonna start wrapping up somewhat. Thank you for remembering. Speaking of Wiz, guess what? I have Lucian. What, you don't like Vaxildon? You're not a Vaxildon fan? Wiz, I know you're a Vaxildon fan. He's literally you. Daka daka daka. Yeah, you got no comment because you know it's right. Exactly, Wiz. I know you're more of a Jester fan, which is valid, because how can you not love Laura Bailey? I love her dearly. Actually, Wiz, because I know we've talked about Critical Role a lot lately, oddly. Have you ever seen pictures of Laura and Travis's son, Ronan? Because God, that child is literally the cutest thing ever. Wiz says, hi, Karina, how's it going? I have. So, yeah, Ronan is so freaking cute. So freaking cute. But yeah, so, I don't know when the next episode of this is going to happen. I'm not ending just yet, but I'm getting ready to. You did, Wiz. Ooh, I can't wait to watch your heartbreak. I can't wait to watch your heartbreak. He started watching Mighty 9 today. I can't wait to watch your heartbreak. I'm not going to say anything further, but your heart is going to break. You are going to cry. I'm not going to give you any more information. I'm just going to say, yeah, you're going to cry. It could be worth a fortune if it belonged to her. I don't know where Percival is. Is he still in the living room? Oh, then I can't wait for... If that's your motivation, I can't wait. I think it's what, episode 30? He talking about destroying the willpower of the group. It's around 30. Oh, you will understand why. Oh, it's heart-wrenching. It's so good. Oh, but no. Also watch Dallon's Closet. Watch Dallon's Closet. If you get a chance, it's so you don't like it's the end story of the Mighty Nine. It's Percival and Vex's wedding, and oh my god, the ending. Oh, it's so good. So good. I would literally so good. Are you trying to say I'm an emotionless whiz? I take offense to that. Yeah, we're just gonna grind just a couple more battles, and then I'm gonna save. We're probably gonna go raid Cam. It's kind of what I'm holding off for. Really depends on what it is. Because whether Rakan or not gets emotional is a whole nother animal. I am a freaking baby. Spoiler alert for anyone. I am a baby. I get emotional quickly. I can literally not watch the end of Coco without crying. I cry every time. I cry at the... Oh, if it's Atlas, Atlas can... See that, Wiz? That's for Atlas. But yeah, no. I'm a big baby. So, like... Okay. So, like, I get attached to things and I cry. I am horrible. Another movie will admit I cry to is Wreck-It Ralph, the first one. But for me, it comes down to... so when the first one came out, very much became... Oh, and Toy Story 3. I always cry to Toy Story 3. I'll tell that story another time. But so Wreck-It Ralph very much became me and my sister's kind of movie. And so very much Vanellope and Ralph very much encapsulated a lot of us. And so when that end scene happens in Wreck-It Ralph, where he's talking about when he's reciting the villain anthem, spoilers for Wreck-It Ralph, I think it's like 10 years old now. It's fine. But when he's reciting the end thing, it's very hard for me to watch without getting emotional. Even talking about it a little bit. It's one of those things that, like, because for most of you that don't know, me and my well, not even my youngest half sister, but my half sister on my mom's side, very, very close. Pretty much for a long time did everything together. To the point, like, I got her almost kicked out of daycare because she grew up with me and my brother. We grew up wrestling fans, so we taught her to wrestle and stuff. And she was getting bullied. Proceeded to kid kept biting her, so she proceeds to take the kid, stick their head under her arm, and DDT them to the floor. To aluminum, or wow. To Lanu, well, I can't say it. Yep. To a tile floor, essentially. Proceeds to DDT them to the floor. At that point, we were told we're no longer allowed to teach her wrestling stuff. But before that, actually, she had another kid who was bullying her. They just always kept taking her toys. So she got sick of it. Thank you. I'm still not going to say it, but thank you. But they were always taking their toys. So one day they brought their favorite toy truck. My sister, being the savage little brat she was maybe 3 at this time, 3, maybe 4, proceeds to take the truck, take it to the concrete backyard that the babysitter had, and stomp on it. It was amazing. But yeah, at that point, I was told I'm no longer allowed to teach her wrestling or anything because it's bad. But with that, guys, as I said, I'm gonna take an hour break. Got some stuff I want to do quick. So we're gonna go raid my friend Cam. I'm pretty sure. We're gonna go raid my buddy Cam quick because I think he just started raiding. Hey, thanks for the follow, Neo Blazer. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more Digimon soon, hopefully. But yeah, in an hour we're gonna come back. We're gonna play some Phasmophobia with my wife because apparently I hate my life. But yeah, one sec. Let me see who's on. Okay, it's just Kaimitz. So we're gonna go raid Kaimitz. He's playing some Call of Duty. I was playing the raid Cam because he just started. But yeah, come hang out later if you'd like. In an hour, it's gonna be super fun. I'm gonna hate myself because I don't do spooky. For those of you that don't know, I don't like spooky anything, but my wife absolutely loves it. So yeah, thanks for coming, guys. Hopefully I will see you either in an hour or in another stream.